There are rapidly growing calls for the firing of a police officer in Indianola, Mississippi, after he allegedly shot an unarmed 11-year-old boy on Saturday. Adarian Murray, who is black, had called 911 to report a domestic disturbance. His family's attorney says he was trying to protect his mother. The Washington Post reports that Murray followed the police officer's commands and had his hands up, but was still shot in the chest. Officials in Indianola have voted to place the police officer on paid administrative leave while the case is investigated by the...
No paid administrative leave. The guy needs to be put in holding until this investigation is completed. Racism is real. Oh, but this is not a racist nation.
State. NBC's Steve Patterson is following this for us. Also with me is retired NYPD Detective Mark Claxton. So, Steve, what more do we know about how this young boy is doing and where this investigation stands?
Yeah, Chris, according to the family, after Adarian rounded that corner, met the police officer, he was shot one time in the chest, where he collapsed to the ground. Apparently, after being shot, he was screaming, "What did I do wrong? Why was I shot?" According to medical officials, he suffered a collapsed lung, a lacerated liver, several broken ribs, was rushed to the hospital where he was then put on a ventilator. But the silver lining in all of this, in this terrible story, is that he apparently has been soldiering through treatments at the hospital, and just a day ago was treated at the hospital and released back to the custody of his family. He's doing okay. The mother spoke about what kind of blessing this was that her family got through this. Listen to this.
He's blessed. I don't know how else to describe it, how he survived. That's the only thing I can say, that he was blessed. He have a lot of questions. He asked me in the hospital, like, why they shot him. He was in good spirit, but every now and then I look over at him and he'll just cry.
He has a lot of questions. The family has a lot of questions, including the family attorney. The Mississippi Bureau of Investigation says they have a full-throated investigation with that officer on administrative leave. And the family attorney saying that there is not only police body cam video, but also unreleased gas station security cam video that has not been shown to the public yet. Chris.
Can't believe it. Cannot believe it, right? All right. The nonsense, man. They got the body cam footage and they're not trying to release it yet. Right. Trying to protect his mother. I don't know, man. Trying to get to the bottom of this, waiting for this to load. Okay. All right. Second. All right. All right, it's taking its time, so I'm just going to read the story right now. All right. Mom, Nikayla Murray, demands action after Mississippi cops shot 11-year-old son during domestic disturbance call. 11-year-old boy was shot by cops during a domestic disturbance call in Mississippi, and his mom is demanding the officer be fired and prosecuted. It needs to be fired and prosecuted, but there's something that needs to be said here. Nikayla Murray slammed Indianola police after she said Officer Greg Caper shot her 11-year-old son, Adrian, in the chest on Saturday morning when he called the police about his sister's irate father. Adrian was quickly transported to a hospital. He has since been released and is continuing his recovery. Murray said she woke up around 4 a.m. when she heard a knock on her window and found her daughter's father standing outside. I noticed that he was kind of irate, and from dealing with him in the past, I know the irate version of him and what it could lead to, she told ABC News. She was then instructed Adrian to call his grandmother for help, but the boy sought help from the police first, telling them that there was no weapons involved. Murray's attorney, Carlos Moore, claimed that the police were told 3 separate times that no one was armed inside the house, yet the officer responded with a weapon drawn when he entered the home. Murray claimed the officer and another cop tried to break down her door upon arrival, and when she opened it, Capers had his weapon drawn and instructed her to leave as he went out inside with a gunshot fired afterward. I heard a shot and I saw my son run out toward where we were. She said he felt bleeding and I put pressure on it to help stop the bleeding. She said the frightened child repeated, "I don't want to die." This is the single mother's fault. Okay? Talks about his sister's irate father. So you must have 2 kids by 2 different men. Murray said Adrian was shot in the chest and quickly transported to a hospital. He has since been released and is continuing his recovery. Indianola Mayor Ken Featherstone said Capers has been suspended from the force as the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation probes the officer-involved shooting. But Murray called on the city to fire Capers and for state prosecutors to charge him for the shooting. The Mississippi Attorney General's office is currently waiting for the MBI to conclude its investigation. We are demanding justice, Moore told ABC. We want immediate determination, we want prosecution, and we want the family to get some answers. The Indianola Police Department and MBI did not immediately respond to the Post's request for comment. I'm sorry, but she has to take the blame here, okay? Because you have to be careful with the men you let impregnate you to be the father of your children. All right? This is what happened. That's the root cause of the situation. Okay? Your child could have died because you picked a man, a certain type of individual, to be the father of your child. All right? The cop also deserves to be put under the jail. He needs to go to prison for attempted murder. This was attempted murder. This is an 11-year-old boy. Did nothing to the cop. And this is the typical, this is the typical type of baby mother. All right? Sorry, stereotypical baby mother from the hood. And this is how it went down. And the kids paid the price because you weren't careful on the type of man you let make you a single mother. You're going to get mad at me, say victim blaming. I'm not blaming the victim. I'm not blaming the child. I'm blaming the mother. Okay? Because children pay the price with having a parent pick a poor choice in mates, especially with the single moms. All right. That's all I got to say. Let me know what you think in the comments later.